Hey guys, thank you for listening to episode 5 of the Bad Patches podcast. I've tried to record this episode maybe like 3 times already. And I don't know, like I'm doing laundry right now during my work hours. Because that's the best way to get paid. Anyway, as I was putting the clothes to dry, I was thinking, like, why am I having so much trouble just talking about my life day to day and what type of podcast I want this to be. And I don't know, just I realized, like, I listen to a lot of podcasts, and one that I really enjoy is WTF with Marc Maron. But it's not so much the interviews that I like. I like the intros that Mark has on his podcast, where he just talks about what's going on in his life for the first 10-15 minutes before he jumps into the actual episode of him interviewing the celebrity he has or whatever. But I like it, like, I like that he gives updates, like, oh, like, I got my 3 cats or whatever, and Boomer is gone, and blah blah blah, right? So he talks about his cats, like, and for some reason I find that interesting or compelling for me to want to know what's happening in his life for the next episode, like what's going on with his dad with the Alzheimer's. And I don't know, it's just that I also find myself re-recording these because I don't sound like myself. I kind of change my voice a little bit. Kind of, I don't know, because my wife's in the other room, and I kind of feel weird recording, and I feel like I'm being judged. And so, like, I try to lower my voice, I guess, or whatever. And when I listen to bits and pieces of what I've already recorded, I'm like, that sounds fucking horrible. But, you know, that speaks a lot about me. Like, it shouldn't matter that my wife is in the other room, and it shouldn't matter if she's listening, right? Like, you guys are listening. I don't know who the fuck you are. So, like, I'm sharing stuff to strangers, and, you know, the person I married is the one that makes me uncomfortable. It's a little weird. So, I don't know, I'm just going to try and talk as a regular person, and that's about it, right? Now, moving forward, what this episode is about, you know, a life update. You know, it's my son's back in school. He's in first grade, and he had his open house or open classroom thing yesterday. And school hasn't changed much, you know, it's the same shit, you know. First grade, not a huge difference. He is struggling with his new schedule because we put him in the after school program, and I think being away from home is getting to him. He has been, you know, crying about it, like actually crying that he doesn't want to go to school or that he misses us because he's out of the house for so long. So we kind of deal with things differently. My wife is, you know, understanding and stuff, and after a few understandable moments of his feelings, then I will snap into, all right, that's enough crying, like, about this, like, settle down, and we're gonna go to fucking school, let's go, whatever, you know. And he's been on like that for maybe like 3 to 4 days now. And this morning he came to me, he was like, Dad, I have allergies, I can't go to school. I'm like, dude, like, you're going to school even if you had allergies. Like, I don't think he understands what allergies are, and trying to use it as an excuse. So I thought that was funny, but, you know, he's been crying at the drop-off, so I had a little talk with him in the car, and I just told him, you know, maybe it's bad parenting on my side, but I told him, like, if I drop you off and you cry about the same thing, like, I'm not gonna let you play with your Switch later. Like, maybe that wasn't the right way of dealing with it, but it worked. Like, I dropped him off. He looked for a friend of his and then ran off and didn't bat an eye because he knew that I was not gonna let him play. Right now he's addicted to Minecraft, that I think I mentioned on the other episode. And that addiction is still ongoing. But it's starting to bother me because before he started playing so many games, he was really into music. And I've always been really into music. So, I don't know, it started to mess with me that, like, he doesn't take breaks to listen to stuff. So I think starting this weekend, I'm gonna cut him off, like, at two hours of gaming, so that, you know, he can listen to some records with me. And maybe that's just me being a dad trying to have him have the similar interests that I do. But I don't know, he said he wanted to be a singer, you know, so if he wants to be a singer, he has to know songs. So that's my update for my kids area. Family-wise, I don't think I'm going to talk about my wife. You know, she's cool. If there's something that I want to discuss about it, I guess I'll bring it up. But nothing right now that I can think of. As far as what I'm doing, I have been thinking a lot about what's going to happen, like, when I die, and what the fuck am I doing with my life at 38. So it's been a interesting last few days, you know. I've been comparing myself to others, which is not a good thing. I don't remember whose quote it was, but it's comparison is the thief of joy. It's a famous quote, and I just can't remember who said it, but it sure is. Like, I look at some of my close friends, and I'm like, how are they doing that? And I'm still, you know, doing this fucking grind of just having some fucking crappy 9-to-5 job that, you know, is not gonna get me anywhere. And when I lose this job, I'm probably just gonna look for another similar 9-to-5 job and do that until I'm in my 50s. If I make it into my 50s, where I'm gonna struggle to get a similar job because they're probably be like, you're too fucking old now and you should be doing management stuff because you're not a young guy. But I haven't had the opportunity to do anything in a management role, and that's something that I've it's starting to pique my interest, because, like, a lot of the people that I know or that I'm comparing myself to, and this part is not really my friends. I'm happy for my friends, but I have acquaintances, and some of them I think are fucking dumb, and yet they are ahead in life. And I don't know if it's because you know, ignorance is bliss, and he doesn't know how bad in his job that he is to fucking care, and I do, and maybe that's what kind of prevents me from moving up in the world. So that's where I'm at the moment. I had my one-on-one with my boss maybe like 2 weeks ago, and I can't remember if I talked about it, but he kind of went on about how this company I'm at, like, it doesn't really have a lot of room for growth, because most people in management have been with the company for such a long time and nobody leaves here. It's a good place to be. I just, at this point in my career, I wish I had made more money, or I wish I wasn't doing a customer facing role. I think trying to find that mentor to extend extend their hand to pull me up to something else. Like if I look at other people that I know that are in management or project managers or whatever, they all kind of had somebody that kind of pushed them towards that area. It's not, they didn't get there on their own, and I don't know, maybe somebody did at some point try that on me, and I was too young to care, and so I never really did it. I've always shied away from responsibility. I really don't enjoy, added stress. Like, I always stress about everything. Like, work can be exhausting for me, even if I get something new that I'm not familiar with. Like, I will freaking destroy my weekend just thinking about it. And this time around at this new job, it's a lot more chill, and I am grateful that I'm getting a break from the call after call center life. But this also kind of makes me reflect that I'm just not really doing anything. I'm not growing. I'm just stuck, Similar to my old job where there was no growth. I was just stuck. And it was a good thing that we lost that other job. Maybe some of us in the company, they won't agree with me, but ultimately I think it was one of the best things that could have happened, because I was making just a little bit above minimum wage, and now I'm making like $6-7 more than I was before. So the only way I got here is because we all got let go. Otherwise I would have been still making, I don't know, $18, $19. Probably like $18.50 or $18.30. They weren't big on giving people raises over there. Anyway, so that's another thing I was kind of going through my head. And I don't know, I look at other people that lie to the government and get government assistance. Others that I know, do illegal activities to get ahead, and eventually, they do a few things, and then eventually they get enough money to live well or live comfortably for a little bit. And I don't know, like for me, like I got these morals beaten down to me. So I've always been like a nice person, I guess. Like, yeah, I can be like an asshole because that's my defense mechanism. Is I'm not a big guy and I'm not a huge fighter, so like being the funny guy or whatever has always been my go-to. Even now with my son, like he's short, so he's gonna need to learn how to cope with more physical inclined friends. I will end up putting him in some sort of martial art, but not yet. I am a huge fan of the arts, so I kind of want him to kind of touch that first before he goes into anything else. Right now he's doing swimming, and swim classes are ridiculously expensive, so I'm hoping that he learns how not to drown pretty soon, so that we can move on and have him do something else. So music is probably one of the things that I would want him to get into. Maybe it's not singing, but playing an instrument. I played guitar for a few years during my late teens, early 20s, and then I kind of stopped. But I certainly enjoyed it. I was in a band that I kind of got thrown into as the singer, and they had me singing Blink-182 songs that I didn't like, but that's what I did. And I used to cover Offspring songs, and then after that I kind of started my own band where we would cover like indie songs from the Stills and the Strokes, and we kind of played all that. At that point I was doing lead guitar, and my best friend at the time was doing vocals. But it was just like a little garage band. We would rehearse every now and then, and we would just fuck around. It was a good experience in my life, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. I think the arts is a big thing, and on my side of the family, like my brother, is a fantastic drawer. He always writes like fan fiction, stuff like that. I dabble in fan fiction as well. We used to write like episodes for the shows that we liked. We kind of, we read them to each other and stuff like that. He did most of that. I only kind of copied what he was doing, because he's my older brother. So I think I kind of naturally thought that was cool. So I started to do it. And I do have a love for writing, so that's the other area. I think that's the only other area of work that I have an interest in, would be like technical writing. And I have a buddy in Mexico that does it. Maybe I should look into that. I'm making a mental note for myself to look into that. So that's what that was for. So I lost track of what I was saying. I don't have a Jamie to let me know what was going on. So that's it. I guess I'll end it there. Comparison is indeed a thief of joy. And if you don't aim at something, you will definitely get a fucking job that you did not want, and you will be stuck there until you decide to do something else. I got stuck. I got thrown into customer service because that's the first job that I got, not knowing what my options were. I did that for 10 years. I only got out because I got technically fired, and that led me to the amazing world of opportunities, where I landed another job in customer service that paid better, but it was still customer service, but it was in telecom, and I ended up loving telecom. I just haven't been able to get out of the customer facing stuff. And I know I just talked about that, but just again, if you don't like the job that you have, the only one that's going to get you out is yourself and your friends. So don't be shy to talk to people. Talk to your friends. Ask them if you hate your job, if they don't work with you and they have a better position. Try it. If you're young, try it. Try everything. Like fucking sales. Do support. Do IT jobs. Do anything that you can. Try and meet as many people as you can, because in the long run, those people will help you get other jobs. And that's what I've seen. That's what I've experienced. Definitely there will be people that are just shitheads, so look out for those. And on our next episode, we'll talk about weight. There's definitely a big conversation about weight that I want to have. And I kind of recorded this episode that was going to be about that, but it kind of changed. So I don't have any cats. I have a dog and I ramble. Thanks for listening. Like, subscribe, and I will see you again soon. Bye.